Every human on this planet is one of a kind, and there's absolutely no doubt about that. But in reality, some people are just a little more unusual than the rest. Some can pull off things with their bodies that seem physically impossible, while others have strange fixations, bizarre hobbies, or rare abilities that make them stand out in ways you'd never expect. Today, we're looking at 15 unbelievable humans you won't believe exist. So, be sure to stay till the end, because the number one might just be the weirdest thing you've seen in a pretty long time. Number 15. Amit. Amit was 2 when the swelling appeared. By 11, his eye was being pushed out of its socket by a growing tumor, neurofibromatosis. Type 1 had taken over one side of his face. That year, he lost his eye. Magnets were implanted in his skull so a prosthetic could be snapped into place. But what stuck with him more than surgeries, 22 on his face alone, was the rejection. Parents would ask, "Would you let your daughter marry someone like that?" It wore him down. Until Piali. She insisted he show his full face over video. "I won't marry half a face," she told him. At first, she said no. Her family wasn't on board. But love shifted things. They married anyway. Now even her relatives have grown supportive. Amit's not just surviving, he's raising awareness. His TikTok following shot past 60,000 in weeks. People still accuse him of filtering. He ignores them. "I embrace it," he said. "I celebrate it. I want to change the world with it." Number 14. Rudy V. Rudy V lives for one goal: make his butt as big as possible. The 29-year-old makeup artist from Los Angeles openly says there's no limit. He'll do whatever it takes to get the curves he wants. Inspired by Nicki Minaj, Rudy has already undergone multiple procedures and even admits to receiving illegal butt injections in a hotel room. Still not satisfied, he's planning another Brazilian butt lift after the first didn't meet his standards. Calling himself a rebel, Rudy struggled to express himself growing up, but eventually found freedom through makeup and cosmetic surgery. Now based in LA, he's surrounded by the image of glamour, but he sees through the illusion. "People think it's glitzy, but it's really not," he says. "There's a lot of homelessness here. LA is very superficial." Rudy doesn't hide the contradiction. He lives it. His body, to him, is both art and rebellion. And he's not chasing normal. He's chasing a version of himself that only he can create. Number 13. Zombie Punk. If you ever find yourself walking through Camden Town, chances are you'll spot Anderson Garcia Rodriguez, better known as Zombie Punk. With his spiked mohawk, facial tattoos, and piercings covering nearly every inch, he's impossible to miss. His cardboard sign usually reads, "Help a punk get drunk," and people stop constantly, for selfies, for conversation, or just to stare. He's even been turned into a toy. But behind the spectacle is a story of rejection. Originally from Brazil, Anderson left after never feeling truly accepted for who he was. London gave him space to exist as himself, even if that meant becoming a tourist attraction. "Everyone thinks I'm crazy," he told Truly. "They say I look like the devil." He hears it daily, but it doesn't stop him. In Camden, he's both local celebrity and living punk art. And whether people get it or not, Anderson's not there for approval. He's there to live loud, stand still, and let everyone else catch up. Number 12. The Rubber Boy. Daniel Smith, also known as Rubber Boy, redefines what a human body can do. Born with extraordinary flexibility, he realized as a kid that his body didn't behave like everyone else's. While classmates were learning handstands, he was folding himself into shapes that shouldn't be possible. Over years of training, he mastered his gift until he could twist through a tennis racket, fold in half, and dislocate his joints without injury. His movements look more liquid than bone and muscle. Crowds stare in disbelief as he knots himself into positions that make most people flinch. Scientists and doctors have studied him, trying to understand how his connective tissues allow such extreme contortions, but no one has found a full answer. Daniel turned this rare ability into art, performing worldwide, setting Guinness records, and proving that flexibility isn't just physical. It's mental, too. Pain, fear, and limits. He bends them all. That's why the world calls him Rubber Boy. Number 11. Elena. Elena, now 19, is a full-on 1980s revivalist. Her style pulls from music, vintage trends, and the new romantic scene, and her closet proves it. She collects everything from shoulder-padded jackets to retro accessories, building her wardrobe like a time capsule. A huge fan of Stranger Things, especially its 4th season, Elena loves the entire vibe of the show. So when she got the chance to get a full Vecna-inspired makeover by pro makeup artist Tatiana, she was all in. Her grandmother, though, had no idea what was coming. She thought Elena was getting a classic Kardashian-style glam look. Instead, what walked out of that room looked more monster than model. It was dramatic, eerie, and completely transformative. Elena didn't just look like someone from the upside down. She was the moment. That blend of horror and glam, that's exactly her lane. This isn't just cosplay or nostalgia. For Elena, channeling the 80s and characters like Vecna is pure expression, and it's not about impressing anyone but herself. Number 10. The woman with superhuman vision. Veronica Sider stunned researchers with a vision unlike anything science could explain. Her eyesight was measured to be around 20 times sharper than a typical human's. She could read license plates from over a mile away, identify people at incredible distances, and even distinguish individual pixels on a television screen. This wasn't an urban legend. Scientists studied her carefully, and every claim held up. As a child, her parents noticed she could read faraway signs nobody else could see. In school, she often spotted things teachers hadn't even pointed out. Her eyes functioned more like telescopes than human vision. Some experts believed her optic nerves were unusually structured, but they never fully understood what made her sight so precise. Even today, Veronica holds an unofficial place in visual history. Her ability wasn't linked to machines, surgeries, or enhancements, just raw biology. In a world where everyone wants sharper screens, she already came built with ultra-definition in her own eyes. Number 9. The modern-day samurai. Isao Machi's sword doesn't cut. It divides atoms. We mean, like for real. This Japanese martial artist has mastered iaijutsu, the ancient discipline of drawing and striking a sword in one fluid motion. He's sliced baseballs flying at 100 kilometers per hour, cut pellets from air guns mid-flight, and split tiny objects dropped from the air, all with surgical accuracy. His reflexes are so fast that high-speed cameras can barely track them. Decades of training have turned his movements into instinct. He doesn't swing wildly. He reads motion, calculates speed, and reacts in fractions of a second. Scientists who studied him found his brain processes visual cues faster than average, almost like time slows down for him. But Isao credits discipline, not genetics. To him, mastery isn't about violence, it's about precision, control, and respect for the blade. He's not playing a role. He's living an art form that survived centuries. In a world ruled by technology, Isao Machi stands as proof that perfection still demands patience. Number 8. Ryan and his nails. Ryan's nails are impossible to ignore. They're long, 4 or 5 inches easy, and cost him thousands. He's a lash technician in New York and treats his nails like art. Appointments run 8 hours. Each set is different, sharp, flashy, heavy, and he loves every single one. People stare, they comment. Some can't believe he eats with them. Others say it's a cry for attention. He's heard it all. "Fatherless behavior," one troll wrote. Ryan laughed and reposted it. He doesn't care. Nails aren't a trend to him. They're an expression. They're freedom. They're his. He's spent over $50,000 without regret. He records his routines, shows how he lives, and makes zero effort to explain himself. "This is how I take up space," he says, "and I'm not shrinking." Some people wear their identity on their sleeve. Ryan wears his at the tips of his fingers. Loud, dramatic, and fully intentional. Don't like it? Scroll past. Just know, you're still watching. Number 7. Clara Lima. For Clara Lima, self-expression doesn't come cheap. The businesswoman and artist has spent over $1 million enhancing her appearance, and she sees it all as part of her creative identity. Her plastic surgery journey started at 19, and to her, every change is an extension of her artistry. Today, she's visiting her favorite luxury beauty clinic for a routine treatment, just one part of her carefully crafted self-care schedule. Later, she's off to find the perfect dress for an upcoming red carpet event. To some, it all looks like indulgence, but Clara says that's a narrow view. "People imagine all kinds of things about my life," she told Truly, "but it's discipline. It's hard work. It's growth." Living in Miami, Clara's lifestyle sparkles on the surface, but it's built on dedication. She doesn't deny the glam, but she also doesn't let it define her. In her world, transformation isn't about hiding. It's about showing up in exactly the skin you choose to wear. Number 6. Magali Gonzalez Sierra. In Colombia, a teenage girl named Magali Gonzalez Sierra inspired her entire town simply by turning 15. She had Hutchinson-Gilford progeria syndrome, a rare genetic condition that causes the body to age rapidly. By her early teens, Magali's body resembled that of an elderly woman: thin skin, stiff joints, fragile bones, and constant fatigue. Doctors never expected her to survive childhood, but she defied them all. When her quinceañera arrived, her family and neighbors celebrated with tears and pride. Magali wore a lilac gown and tiara, smiling brighter than anyone else in the room. Her body might have weakened, but her spirit didn't bend. Despite pain and exhaustion, she spent her days drawing, talking with friends, and planning a future she knew might be short. Magali's life was a lesson in presence, showing that worth isn't measured in years lived, but in joy shared. Her story remains a soft echo of strength that refuses to fade. Number 5. Hang Myoku. Hang Myoku was once known for her soft, graceful appearance as a singer and model in South Korea. But her relationship with beauty took a dark turn. After years of repeated cosmetic procedures, doctors finally refused to continue, warning that more work could do permanent harm. Obsessed with her image, Hang took matters into her own hands. She injected black-market silicone into her face. When that ran out, she used regular cooking oil. The damage was devastating. Her face became severely swollen and deformed, drawing shock and sympathy across the country. When her story hit national TV, people donated money to help reverse the damage. Surgeons removed some of the material, but much of it was fused deep into her skin. The once celebrated beauty icon became a cautionary tale. Today she lives quietly, far from the spotlight. Her story is a painful reminder of how obsession, fueled by social pressure and self-doubt, can lead to irreversible consequences, no matter how it starts. Number 4. The real-life Batman. Daniel doesn't see the world with his eyes. He sees it with sound. Blind since infancy, he taught himself echolocation by clicking his tongue and listening to how those clicks bounce back. Over time, his brain learned to read the echoes like a map. He can detect shapes, walls, corners, even moving objects, all through hearing. It's a skill scientists once thought impossible for humans. Today, Daniel hikes, cycles, and travels independently, often without a cane. He also teaches other blind individuals how to use echolocation to regain confidence and mobility. MRI scans revealed something remarkable. The part of Daniel's brain usually responsible for vision now processes sound instead. It's a literal neural adaptation. To Daniel, blindness isn't a tragedy. It's just a different way to experience the world. He doesn't call himself brave or extraordinary. He calls it practice. Some people rely on sight. Daniel Kish sees with sound. Number 3. CHXPO and Mallory. CHXPO met Mallory in a nightclub. She was older, dancing on a stool, living her moment. He was younger, confident, and just as loud. That night sparked something neither expected. She jokes that it was just a vibe. But what started as fun turned into something serious, and fast. The internet didn't take it well. Mallory got called desperate, shallow, and even delusional. People said CHXPO looked like her son, but none of it stuck. They knew what they had. They watch old cartoons together. They fight about nonsense. They dance at random. Their love doesn't fit into anyone's mold, and they prefer it that way. CHXPO isn't trying to be some polished boyfriend. Mallory doesn't care about approval. They post their chaos online because it's real, it's messy, it's hilarious, and it works. For them, it's not about making sense. It's about making space for something unexpected. And if others don't get it, that's fine. They don't care. Number 2. Gabby Gingras. Gabby lives in a world without pain, and that's far more dangerous than it sounds. Born with congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis, she can't feel injuries or regulate her temperature through sweat. As a baby, she'd chew her tongue or bump into furniture without even realizing it. By toddlerhood, she'd lost several teeth and damaged one of her eyes so badly that doctors had to sew her eyelids shut to protect it. Today, she's blind in one eye and carefully protects the other with goggles. Despite everything, Gabby has a quiet strength. Her parents adapted her world for safety. Padded furniture, trained caregivers, constant vigilance. Still, she insists on living like any other kid. She plays, laughs, and dreams big. Her biggest wish is to restore her smile with dental implants one day. Gabby's story reminds the world that pain, for all its discomfort, is what teaches us to protect ourselves, and her courage proves she never needed the warning. Number 1. Tina. In 2014, Tina was diagnosed with stage 2 nasal cancer. Her best shot at survival? A full rhinoplasty, removal of her entire nose. Doctors hesitated. They didn't want to disfigure her, but she didn't hesitate. Pretty means nothing if you're dead, she told them. She chose life. Before surgery, she held her kids close, wondering if she'd ever smell them again. Afterward, her youngest looked at her and said, "Mommy, you need to go see the doctor." It crushed her and made her laugh. She was later fitted with a prosthetic, but it felt suffocating. After 2 years, she stopped wearing it. Strangers still say she'd be prettier with a nose, and she answers, "I already am." Tina shares her story to challenge how people define beauty. It doesn't come from symmetry, it comes from survival. Her daughter put it best. "My mom taught me not to care what anyone else thinks. She's beautiful, with or without a nose." If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us on this journey. We'll see you in the next one.